Hello and peace be upon you all. Welcome to our channel where we strive to better ourselves and find tranquility in our lives. Let's embark on this journey together. In previous videos, we talked about the three important sources of anger: physical, spiritual, and mental. We mentioned that if we know where our anger comes from, we can control it much more easily. In this video, we refer to simple solutions and techniques that can help us control our anger in necessary situations, contribute better to our personal growth and development, and savor the sweet taste of tranquility.
So besides all the things we've already discussed, there are also some simple techniques and strategies we can use individually to get a handle on our anger. Why is that important? Because at the end of the day, society is made up of individuals. And when individuals learn to manage their anger, it creates a ripple effect, leading to healthier, happier families, teams, and communities. Psychology offers a lot of great tips for controlling anger, and we're going to add a few bonus ones from our own experience. These are some of the simplest and most effective strategies out there. The first one is all about getting a grip on your mental ego. Think of it like this. Imagine a pilot who completely has lost his senses, is insane, and is being kept in a mental health center. A guy with a history of piloting had escaped from one of the mental health facilities. The entire police force was on his tail, trying to find him. Suddenly, they realized he'd made his way to an airport. Using his past experience or somehow, he'd gotten himself behind the controls of an airplane and takes off. This created a lot of worry for the control towers, as they were trying to figure out how to get him back on the ground, especially since he isn't a normal person. Your mental ego is kind of like that crazy pilot. It hijacks the controls of your being and goes haywire. So, the first thing you gotta do is get that plane back on the ground. You've got to seize control from your mental ego and put it in a timeout. As long as your mental ego is running the show, there's always a risk of angry outbursts. Seriously, if you look closely at any act of anger in the world, you'll find an unchecked mental ego behind it. So, step one in managing anger is learning to tame that wild beast. This is the most crucial thing we can do. The second technique is like building a control tower inside yourself. We call it being the observer of your mind. It's about taking a step back from your thoughts and emotions and just observing them without getting swept away. Imagine an air traffic controller in that tower, calmly surveying the airfield. That's the kind of detached awareness you want to cultivate within yourself. With practice, you can become the observer of your own mind. This is a game changer because it gives you so much more power over your anger and all your other emotions too. So remember, the two keys to mastering your emotions are 1. Taming the mental ego, and 2. Becoming the observer of your mind. We're going to keep coming back to these because they're that important. Another helpful strategy for managing anger is to surround yourself with positive affirmations. Write them down everywhere, on sticky notes, in your phone, on the fridge, in your car, anywhere you'll see them throughout the day. You know, if you think about it, this is something you see a lot in traditional Iranian architecture and religious spaces. Think about mosques, zurkhanehs, traditional gyms, even homes and schools. They're often adorned with inscriptions and calligraphy. You see them on tiles, buildings, even on dishes and clothing. They're everywhere. I've even seen them on swords, shields, and walking sticks. Why is that? It's because those inscriptions are like constant reminders of positive values and beliefs. They're there to uplift and inspire, helping people stay grounded and focused. It's like having a built-in positivity coach. You know, in traditional Iranian architecture, there's this beautiful emphasis on incorporating positive messages into everyday life. You see inscriptions everywhere, on doorways, furniture, even decorative items like rings and other jewelry. These inscriptions are like little reminders to think positive thoughts and cultivate a peaceful mind. It's a shame we don't see this as much in modern life. Today, the messages we're bombarded with are usually ads, or sometimes even negative slogans on t-shirts. We could all use a little more positivity in our surroundings, don't you think? So, surrounding yourself with positive affirmations can really help keep anger in check. If you're familiar with Persian poetry, memorizing some of those beautiful verses about morality and virtue can be incredibly powerful. And if you're not into poetry, find inspiring quotes from great thinkers and writers that resonate with you. Keep those words close to your heart and let them guide you towards peace. Another super simple way to manage anger is to get out of the house and into nature. Nature is like a natural chill pill. The moment you step into its embrace, you can't help but feel a sense of calm wash over you. Nature doesn't do anger. It's all about peace, harmony, and a deep connection with something bigger than ourselves. So, next time you're feeling angry, go for a walk in the park, sit by a lake, or hike in the mountains. Let nature work its magic. Writing is also a fantastic outlet for anger and frustration. Whether you prefer journaling, poetry, or even painting, getting those feelings out on paper or canvas can be incredibly cathartic. Think of it like a healthy way to purge all that pent-up energy. Another powerful technique is mindful breathing, something that's often emphasized in yoga. You see, when we're stressed or angry, our breathing tends to become shallow and erratic. We take short, rapid breaths from our chests instead of those deep, nourishing breaths from our bellies. Not only does this deprive our bodies of oxygen, but it keeps us trapped in that fight-or-flight mode. But when you become aware of your breath and consciously slow it down, taking those deep belly breaths, it sends a signal to your nervous system to relax. It's like hitting the reset button on your anger. And of course, there's nothing quite like listening to your favorite music to shift your mood. And hey, speaking of music, we can even take it a step further. Did you know that certain frequencies and rhythms can actually have a calming effect on the brain? Maybe in the future, we can share some specially composed tracks designed to soothe anger. Imagine listening to music that literally shifts your energy and helps you chill out. Music is powerful stuff. It can either fuel anger or diffuse it entirely. Another trick that therapists often recommend is counting backward from 10. Yep, it's as simple as it sounds. 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way down to 1. This little mental exercise can actually interrupt those spiraling anger patterns and help you regain your composure. Something about focusing on the numbers seems to short-circuit the anger loop. Okay, so another common suggestion for managing anger is taking a walk. But honestly, I don't fully agree with how most psychologists recommend it. They'll tell you to go for a walk, and that's good advice, but it's missing a key element. Here's my take. Ditch the shoes. Yep, you heard me right. Walk barefoot. Find some grass, sand, even pavement, and just feel the ground beneath your feet. There's something incredibly grounding and calming about walking barefoot. It's like connecting directly with the Earth's energy. Plus, there's actual science behind it. It can help regulate your nervous system, reduce inflammation, and improve your sleep. Seriously, give it a try. So many cultures throughout history have recognized the power of going barefoot. Look at the mystics and spiritual teachers in both Iranian and Eastern traditions. Many of them chose to live barefoot as a way to stay grounded and connected to the Earth's energy. There's a story of a Persian mystic named Bashar Hafi. Bashar meaning human, and Hafi meaning barefoot. He was known for his wisdom and spiritual depth. One day, he had an experience that made him realize the power of walking barefoot. He was feeling incredibly stressed and overwhelmed, and as he walked outside, he instinctively took off his shoes. The moment his bare feet touched the ground, he felt a wave of peace wash over him. It was such a profound experience that he decided to live the rest of his life barefoot, never wanting to lose that connection with the earth. Walking barefoot is like a mini reset for your system. It can help you release pent-up energy, calm your nerves, and feel more centered. So, to wrap up our discussion on anger management, remember the two main pillars: taming the mental ego and becoming the observer of your thoughts. These are your foundations. Then, add in the practical tools we discussed, like going barefoot and connecting with nature, and you'll have a powerful toolkit for cultivating inner peace. But remember, managing anger isn't just about individual well-being. It's about creating a more peaceful world, one interaction at a time. Anger can manifest on so many levels, within ourselves, in our families, our communities, even on a global scale. It's like a ripple effect. Each of us has a responsibility to cultivate peace within ourselves and extend that peace outward. If we can learn to manage our own anger, we can create more loving and harmonious homes, communities, and ultimately, a more peaceful world for future generations. It's a legacy we owe to ourselves and to those who come after us. Let's work together to create a world free from the grip of anger. May the end of our journey be one where you are pleased with us and we are at peace.